Wow. Come on. Come on, Karen. Not tonight. Please. Please, not tonight. Man, oh man, I can't deal with these. I got two cameras in here. Both of them brand new, man. I'll be going through the blues getting this thing going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me and the crew and friends.
Hey.
And I am one that might not like to say hello. What's going on, ladies? China, Keisha. Everything all right?
Yep.
I'm great. Yep.
You might glitch, Budget. You didn't have cameras glitching, did you?
It's all good. It's all good. We are here, and we gonna give it to y'all tonight. Do y'all agree, ladies? Do y'all agree?
Yeah.
We'll give it to them tonight. Yeah. Yes, indeed. It's a little behind. I know. That's what I do. It happens. Me and Keisha got that in common. That's how we roll. And let's get this roll call in so we can get this thing started. That's Mikey. They throwing I don't know why. I just got something for that name. Joe. What you know, Danita Joe? Beautiful butterfly. Let go, Karen. Liberty. That's an insurance company. Liberty. Girl with grit. Beautiful butterfly. Come on in here, everybody. Come on back to trouble. She talking to Teddy Bird. Keisha Spady. Y'all get on in here. Excuse me. Come on in here. Everybody. What's up, Victory? Elaine B. Beth Mikey. Laura White. What's up, Barbara? Barbara. I ain't calling you no, the reason I'm calling you, because the other day I was walking home and I found your number in my pocket. What's the name of that song? What's that name? Come on, Barbara. You know the name of that song. Y'all know the name of that song. You know the name of that song. What's up, Dawn? Aqua Loves Gardening. Yes, indeed. What's up, Tehran? Barbara. Yes. Come on in here, everybody. Come on in here. Librarian Liberty. I see you. What's up, Felicia? Jennifer. Just like Candy in the house. Tressa. What's up, Tressa? Naja in the house. I see you. Come on, y'all. Let's keep on doing what we do, when we do what we do, the way we do what we do. I love it. Christina, what's up, Tehran? What's going on, Speedy Rider? Man, this daggone thing is going slow. My main man, Will Power. What's up, Alice? Yeah. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. It's a little late. It's a little behind. It was me, Andrea White. It was me. What's up, Christina? It happens, guys. It happens. Good gosh. It happens. Okay. It happens. But it's going to be working. It always is. Can I shout out the sponsorship? Hey, Ola. Good dog. Hey, Connie. I got my thing way over there on that. Wow. I am tripping over here. Go ahead. Ladies, how y'all doing this evening?
No, why not?
everything.
Yeah, I need to stay off that TikTok. It's corrupting me.
Well, TikTok is another world over there, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whole nother entire universe. When you enter this land of TikTok, they should give you a warning label when you walk in that camp. Look here, put this on because you don't want to catch nothing while you're in here because it's corrupt. It's corrupt.
It should say warning. You may be chosen to pick a side. So enter at your own risk.
It should say it just like that. To this evening, I had the honor and the privilege to go to my niece's graduation. She graduated from HU.
Congratulations.
Oh man, it was amazing. And while I was there, because I'm gonna notice things. I'm an older guy, so I notice things. I notice everything now. Oh man, I looked at the kids, just they so happy and everybody's so happy. And the parents, everybody's, everything is just wonderful, right? And that's what brought us to the topic, good God. Thenar is coming with you. Ooh, somebody was joning on my spelling earlier today too. I was like, I'm gonna fix it. Good gracious. Y'all got to forgive me. Okay, I went to public school. That's what it is. Okay.
At least it'll throw AI out. They're gonna flag it. At least it'll throw AI out. Sometimes you gotta encrypt some topics.
That's me typing on this keyboard, and I need a new MacBook. I got a MacBook Pro, and I'm gonna just get a regular MacBook. That's what it is. I tried to be fancy going in the Apple store. Give me the MacBook Pro. Nah, I'm going back in there, man. Give me the regular one, because the Pro that's all right. But anyway, the narc is only with you to sabotage your life. Not often. That's all we think about. Why are you here? What do they really want? We ask that question every single day. What do this fool really want? What are they getting out of this? Well, I'm going to enlighten some of y'all this evening. This fool is around you simply because they want to sabotage in your life. I looked at the class today, and I looked at my life, of course. And I think back to, even my situation and how, when the time came, I'm trying to push my son into this, and it's like, you gotta have an energy around people to move them in that direction. You do. So many of us have chosen our path in life based around the circumstances that you were faced with when you was in school. Yeah, we all had that dream. Yeah, I want to go to college one day. I want to do this one day. I want to do that.
Yeah.
But you got these circumstances that are around you that are right in your face saying, I'm going to need you to handle this right now. And guys, that's what narcissism is all about. It's all about being around you at those times, in those moments when you're making decisions that are going to change and move your life. And that narc is right there to make sure you make the wrong move.
Yeah.
To ensure you don't mess around or you're not surrounded by energy that is going to be productive and proactive in things that are positive around your life. When you're building your life and you're trying to stay focused on what I'm going to do next, guys, that devil is right there giving you 10 billion choices other than the one that you really feel you should have done, the one that you would have been the most productive in your life, the one that you could have really found your purpose. And when they see that you are attempting to move in your purpose, man, they're going to ensure that they do everything, bombard you daily,
Yeah.
daily, weekly, hourly with distractions, with chaos. They're going to bombard you with life-changing events where I don't know how you're going to do that because this whole situation right here, and we're not about to make it. It's going to be drama in your life like you have never seen before. And we wonder, wow, where would I have been if I would have? Where would I have been if I would have?
You see,
That we ultimately, it's still our decision. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm not saying that, just because then we're not doing what we wanted to do, blah, 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 this, that. I'm not saying that at all. Because again, I'm always going to take sole responsibility. Sole responsibility. Okay? Because even though it was there, I allowed it. I allowed it. I'm going to use Yuli's word. Under the auspices. This was going to turn into something positive. That if I stuck around, it's going to level itself out. And that's what a lot of you guys are doing. You're sticking it out. You're sticking it out. And one day, if I just hang in there, one day we gonna have this. We gonna be that. No, you're not. Let me tell you today. No, you're not. See, everybody still wants to give you that hope that you never know what can happen. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. I'm telling you what's going to happen. And if you stick around it, if you stick with it, if you stay in that trap, because it's a trap, if you stay in it, that's what you're going to have left in life. You're going to sit back and you're going to always wonder, what if? What if I would have?
But you know what, Harry-O, the reason why we are not where we want to be in our lives, I'm going to speak for myself, because I felt like I didn't want him to feel like he was nothing because I accomplished something. And they have that tendency of making you feel like that when they're in competition with you. You don't know it's competition. You just think that it's you trying to not be better than your other half. And that's how I felt. And we don't see that these are selfish people, that they don't see the bigger picture. And I said this many podcasts ago that they don't see the bigger picture, that when we make it, they make it, that we're going to share, because they are selfish. So they figure that they see it, you're making it and not them. And that's why they sabotage, because they also pretend to be the breadwinner and the one who's taking care of the family. And then when you show them up, it look like they're nothing. And so they can't let you accomplish more than them, because now it makes them feel like the trash that they truly are.
Well, you know what? Also, I'm going to jump on that point that yes, when they see you winning, succeeding, doing something, being creative, when you have a business mind, when you're a thinking person, that automatically alerts the jealousy in them. And
Yep.
they're jealous because deep down inside, they know if I get the opportunity, I'm surely gonna leave you. I'm leaving you the minute I hit the jackpot. That's the mindset of a narcissist. The minute I get on, I don't know you no more. It's over. You better believe it's over. I'm done with you. I ain't thinking about you. I did this myself. No matter what you did, no matter how you helped, no matter how you assisted, they don't feel any obligation to you. And I don't care how much you sacrifice, how much you put your life on hold, your ideas on hold. They're sitting there and they are saying, man, so what? I don't care what you did for me, whatever.
I didn't ask you to do that.
And say, oh, you're gonna throw that in my face. I thought you did that because you cared about if you really cared about me, then you wouldn't have thrown it in my face just because I'm leaving you after I got it together.
And that's kind of where we like go wrong, because we forget, or maybe we don't even know, because a lot of times a lot of people are just learning about narcissism in itself. You dealing with a whole bunch of demons, like the whole clan is there, okay, the whole gang's there. And so when you interacting with these people, the jealousy and envy, like these are just strongholds, demonic strongholds Satan got. He got them trapped. They in a prison. That the real them is in a prison. The split them got a bunch of little demons just kind of operating through that meat suit. So when jealousy and envy, once that trigger hit, they are checked out. They are on an automatic programming to check out as soon as things get tough for that core personality, whatever that real them was. You might have seen it every now and then. It acts like a little kid, because a lot of them are still children in their core self, their core spirit. But then they got fragmented off because of trauma. So spiritually, the enemy had rights, still got rights, because every day they wake up with a choice. Now they know enough to know right from wrong. As we get to an accountable age around 12 or so, about 12 or 13, that's accountable age. It can get younger depending on how much you know right from wrong, but usually that's the accountable age where your sins are now imputed onto you and not your parents. So once they make that decision, hey, I'm about to bully this person, I'm going to keep doing wrong, and then keep on making it like they are practicing evil, meaning this is a daily thing that they wake up and they commit to. They ritualistically do. They practice evil. So they look at you and they like, I'm going to tear this person down. Oh, they think they're about to get this job. Look at them. I'm about to make them late. I'm about to make them get fired. They like doing that stuff. They scheme it. And because they wake up with the thoughts to scheme, demonic kingdom is on it. Like, we're going to help you do this, strategically destroy them. And that's what we fighting against. And people are trying to stay with these things, but it's a kingdom war, especially the ones that say they go to church. Like, you going to church and you praying against God's word. You praying for the devil. He said, don't be unequally yoked. And they be like, well, that mean an unbeliever, but then they believe. We keep making excuses for the devil. How many excuses can you get a devil? He is laughing. Like, while he's sitting there taking your stuff, like, you dumb. Like, that's what he do. His kids do the same thing.
And he don't need excuses. He have permission. So we sit there and make excuses for the devil, and he already have permission from God to do what he doing. God just want us to see that light in us. And we let these people dim it. We forget that it's there because we're trying to make them our equal, and they can never be equal to us. But because we love them, we don't want them to feel beneath us. And that's why they go into a competition and a jealousy and envy towards you, because they know they can never do what you do as far as going to school. Half of them don't even finish high school. Well, probably more than half of them. I mean, because they come into the relationship really relying on you for everything. You have to push them to do everything, every single thing, to pay a bill. They not good at none of that. But then let them go out and tell it to everybody else. That's you. They have to take care of you. They have to do all these things and you do nothing. You're not clean. You don't keep the house clean. You don't keep the kids up. It's always, they always putting the narrative out there opposite of what's really going on. And they blaming you for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every
And Macy said,
thing.
and Macy said she don't understand why they want to get rid of someone or hurt someone they want a destiny swap with. The destiny swap happened at the covenant. Soon as a interaction take place, usually sex, that's a swap. So they already did it, and their job is kind of finished. They kind of hold on because you might have a purpose, and if you're still willing, the devil is willing to try to destroy as much as he can, to where they want to get you to where you don't bounce back. They want to get you to a state of depression and dysthymia, what they call dysthymia, where you don't even have the motivation to shower. That's what they want to get you to.
Hey, Keith, man, I think the first 3 years, I was beating that point up every day. People wonder, why do they do what they do to the degree they do it to? Why does it have to end so horrifically? Yeah. And the thing that we don't often do not see is that these people want to hurt you so bad. They want you to the point you can't breathe, you can't eat, you can't even drink anything, that you are sick. They want you to the point where you are hurt, and the only thing that can make you better is if they come back to you. They want you hurt on a level where you just will take them back and shut up. Just, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna bring up what you did. I'm just gonna deal with it. I'm gonna live with it, and I ain't gonna say nothing else. That's the relationship that they actually dream about with you. But after you get to know them, guys, it's nothing natural about living with someone that abuses you every single day in peace.
Yeah.
There's nothing natural about that. We sit back and we wondering, why can't we be just in peace? Why can't? And that's one of the things that triggers you, is that they're going to be the ones also. They're not going to just let you be the one saying you want peace. No, they're going to be like, why can't we just have peace today? It's only going to be when they've done something and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to address it. Look, I know what I did. Just shut up and take it. That's the relationship they want.
Because they figure, you know how people can get into a bad relationship and then get hurt and then be like, you know, F women, F men. I'm a dog men, I'm a dog women. That's the type of attitude that they have with their parents. Like, it's my turn to be the abuser. I'm going to abuse people because I was abused. And that's the choice that they made when they first started lying, when they first started manipulating, when they first started mistreating people. And also, I want to add to what Harriel said. I've told this story many moons ago on this show. They want you, like this narcissist had my sister. And he had her to the point where she could never move on. And I looked at her and watched her wither away. And I said to myself, I would never allow a man to make me feel what she's feeling, because she wanted this man for years on end. And even him seeing her in her state of mind going crazy, health just failing, she just, you know, missing this man, wanting this man. He never came back to her. But at the same time, he found more ways to torture her by taking her children from her and not allowing her to see the kids. And, you know, the time they got to see her, they were almost grown, and it was at her funeral. And that's when they got to see their mom. This is how they want to see you. And he had the nerve to show up. And I'm standing looking at him in the cut like, how dare you be here? You did this.
Hey, China, that's exactly what I'm talking about. They want to be there to just make sure. When he showed up, he just wanted to make sure that I destroyed this situation. That there's no hope. There's no hope. And I'm saying, guys, listen, these are the people that some of us got children with. And if you think that these people are not looking at those children as the one they gonna sabotage because they could not sabotage you, man, you are
They're
in
coming for the children.
awakening.
Satan is there to kill, steal, destroy. Like when you're dealing with the kingdom of darkness, you have to understand how it works in the spirit realm. Anytime a narcissist entered in, that narcissist from birth has been cultivated to be an agent for Satan for destruction. And they go into multiple different people's lives and homes, destroying everything. They like to find, if they're a male, they like to find women who has children because they can destroy them children. And they usually come in when the children is at a multiple age. So they get them like while they're still either in grade school or junior high, and they tear them down. And then they spend about 3 or 4 years, because that's all Satan need, to get them on their path of anger, resentment, unforgiveness, because they mad that this person that they seen and transformed into a demon, you still allow in that home. Or this person that's going in the night doing things to them, because that's what they do. And they get upset, and that causes them to have a curse on them because now they upset at their parents. That's how Satan's strategy is. What Satan does, he thinks just like a serpent. He knows exactly what the word of God say, and he is very subtle and slick. So he come in, if he can get them to curse their parents, he know that they're gonna have a curse on them, and now he got another agent. That's what he's creating is agents. So then the children grow up, and then they have these narcissistic type of things that you got to go to warfare with, because this monster came in the home for about 3-4 years. That's all it takes. And so we have to we have to wake up for one, and we have to critically think. Cults want to get you not to critically think. They don't want you to have common sense. They don't want you to critically think. They want you to be obedient and dependent. That's what a cult is. And when you have a cult leader like the narcissists, and they're narcissistic cults because they are ran by Satan, when you have them come inside and run your home like a cult, nobody's critically thinking. But we have to critically think and have common sense, and not have a desire and feeling for the very drug that is destroying, and have a plan to kill us and annihilate us. They attempt many times, and we make it. Oh, they accidentally cut the bread. Oh, they accidentally put some rat poison in the food. Like, this is things that type of cult system will make you think. Like, this person didn't just try to destroy and eliminate your life. No, we have to understand that when they with the new supply, buy, but they should be in jail for what they've been doing, but they don't get caught because they play on emotions that they don't have, but they know people do.
You
Yeah.
know, that's something that we never look at, man. We never look at the fact that not one of y'all know a narc that said, I'm going to just go to therapy and get myself together and stay there till I got myself together. Every last one of us that dealt with a narc, they was already in a relationship. They was in a full-blown relationship by the time you found out y'all wasn't together no more.
Yeah.
Every single person here, every person here, they was in a full-blown, and we'll sit back like, we really be believing that they just met this person. We do. They've been with that person. Guys, again, you don't want to know the truth. Trust, you don't want to know how trifling, how grimy they really, really are. You don't want to know and don't want to find out. You don't. The worst thing that I think that could ever really happen to us is to actually have to see how trifling that person was. And the reason I say that could be one of the worst things that ever happens to you is because when you see or when you know everything that they did, you're not even gonna look at them no more. You're gonna judge yourself. You're gonna sit back and say, man, what in the hell is wrong with me? That I'm around a monster, like I'm around somebody that was doing all of that. And I didn't even catch it. I didn't feel it. It's been there the whole time. But we just sitting here, passing out second, third, 155th chances, 2017 chance. We sit back with nothing but a book of chances that we just giving away freely, and they taking them. And every day they're taking them, they are sabotaging everything around you. Everything in your life, anything that makes you feel good, you've been saving up your little money on the side to do something for yourself. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Yeah, I got a story. Man, I'm gonna tell it, man. Yeah, man, because I got many of them. I remember very early on in the atrocity. I remember that I was she had got a new car, right? Brand new car. We chilling. We not chilling. We were never really chilling. It was always a little crazy. So, but and it was crazy back then. Let me not sugarcoat. It was crazy. But anyway, she got a car. She had a new car, and I wanted a new car. Not because she wanted one, but it was like we got a new house. She got a new car. I wanted a new car too. And I was going to save my money to buy it, right? So I'm buying, I'm saving up my money, and I'm putting stuff together, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I go to the dealership and I put my money on it and order it. Yeah, so it's coming time. We might be 3 months out when my car is about to be delivered, right? It's about to be ready. And she knew it. And she just made up this incredible story about how she needed some clothes for work and she couldn't get this new position because she didn't dress professional enough. And it wasn't even no good story. No, I'm not going to sit there and tell y'all it was a good story because it wasn't. But because I wasn't really, just like, well, I mean, we could get you some clothes, but it wasn't about the clothes. It was, but you just all you worrying about is your car. All you thinking about your new car. You gonna get this new. Why you want this new car so bad? What you gonna do? What you gonna get? You gonna get somebody else or something?
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there listening to this listening to this madness. Guys, if you're around them long enough, they're gonna beat you down on everything you want to do for yourself, everything you try to do for yourself. And I think it was about 45 days out from my car being delivered. And I had to go back to the dealer and tell the guy, I'm gonna cancel my order. You can let somebody else buy, because you had to be on a waiting list to get this car too. And he was like, okay, because they was flying like hotcakes. And so he wasn't even tripping. He was like, okay, cool. Send me my money back just so that we could go get her some more clothes, Joe. I tell that story today, and it hurt. It hurts to know how stupid I was back then. I mean, that's all I could really say. At the time, I looked at it like, well, that's what being a provider is all about. Yeah. But let me say this, because that's not what a provider is all about.
Yeah, you was bewitched.
A provider is a man, is a husband, and a provider is one that provides for a family that is a family, and that for people that are receptive and that listen to him. That's what a provider does. A provider doesn't just go out there and just, okay, you want it, I'm going to do it just because I have the name and title of provider, and you don't listen to nothing I say. You don't follow anything that I'm saying. You come in here with nothing but madness and craziness. Then no. And I'm telling y'all, for you guys who have gotten married to that, we will sit there in that, and that's why you can't stay in a marriage with that. Well, I mean, I'm calling it a marriage, but it ain't a marriage. But you can't stay in it with them because you're the only one that's going to be responsible for your place in that, the vows you took. You're going to be the only one that follow those vows. That other thing, that man, that joker is, they don't, man, they spit on the vows. Okay, when they say something about, they look at them vows, man, they spit on the ground. Like, man, you got crazy. I ain't
because
following.
they hold you to a standard that they won't even hold themselves to. And that's the highest standard. They know what morals are. They know all of that. They just hold you to it and not them. And then when you call them out on their behavior, oh, that's how I was raised. No, that's not how you was raised. It may necessarily be, but at the same time, at some point, you knew it wasn't right. It doesn't make it right because that's how you were raised. But that's the choices that they choose to make and excuses that they give you for their behavior. And that's why a lot of them don't revert back to, oh, my mom abused me. They go back, that's how I was raised. And then you look at the trauma they endured and how crappy of a family that they grew up in, and then you feel sorry for them, and that's what you think you can change. You think you can give them morals. You're not trying to fix the broken. You're trying to give them morals. You're trying to give them high standards. And that's something that they can adapt to because they was not taught that. They know what it is. It wasn't taught to them. And so it wasn't something that was practiced. So it's not a pattern. And they don't want to change who they are because they are comfortable, because that's the environment that they grew up in. And nobody ever told them that they were wrong for what they were doing. They know they were wrong, but nobody told them because they surround themselves with yes men and families who's going to agree with what they're doing, even though they're wrong. And that's why they feel like they're never wrong.
Because it's definitely they in a pigsty. So when the Bible tell you like don't feed your pearls to swine, God be meaning what he say. Like he really, like once you really like digest and read that Bible and really understand what it means, he mean exactly what he say.
Say that verse again.
And when you really like digest the word, like eat the word, digest it, and understand what he's saying, he mean what he say. It's just period, point blank. Don't feed your pearls to swine. He said, don't do all this stuff. Like they're going to bite you. You got the ravenous wolves. They're going to tear you to shreds. You know, Satan concerned, it be a contract. So when you go up there and you say your vows, as soon as you say them vows, up another contract. Because first he had the contract with doing the do. Like that was already the fornication contract. Now it's a marriage involved. That means two fleshes is like one. Oh, Satan like got a contract. Where the kids? That's what he do. He go up there day and night accusing the brethren. Because God didn't say be with Jezebels. He didn't even say look at them. He said don't even look at them. Don't even cross their path. Don't even say hello. For a reason, because that demon that's operating through them, that's a very strong power that most people will be overcome with, because it's a principality spirit. These things are not playing. You dealing with a whole marine kingdom here. They want to kill, steal, destroy. That's what they do. And you on their turf. So you can't go to their neighborhood and go pick up one of their kind and think you about to bring that kind over here. Now that kind got a contract. You came to them. That whole family coming with that one, and you can't clean that up. They in the goo. They are the goo. You know, the black goo stuff that give you the inflammation, the diseases, the cancer, all of that. That's them. Okay, that's in that makeup. And so they're not gonna take them out just yet because they're using that vessel. They cultivated it. They gave it a Coca-Cola bottle, or they gave it some absinthe, some packs if it's a dude, and they made it have a certain kind of look and a certain kind of swag to capture as many gullible people as possible. And yes, we were gullible because we didn't understand God like that. I know I didn't. I grew up in church, but most of my family, they all claimed Jesus, but they all was drinking and smoking. So it
Yep.
wasn't like you had a solid foundation of who God was. You felt like, yeah, I'm saved too. But that's why he's bringing us to this understanding now. Because when we got with the narcissist, that was a master witch or warlock. You got some little ones that's trying to practice it, doing abracadabra stuff. But then
Mhm.
you got the master witches and warlocks, them
Yeah.
your narcissists, okay? They automatically, soon as they speak, they invoking spirits, okay? They already done mastered this thing. So people get bewitched. And it's not that, people are less educational or have a low IQ or stupid or anything like that. No, it's very, very intelligent people. That's who they go for. But you're dealing with spirits. And spirit, these are ancient demons that's been around for a very long time. They know humanity in and out. Those are what's speaking through the narcissist. Narcissist is gone. They suspended in a quantum somewhere. They come to, and then when they come to, they listen to the voices, and that's when you might hear them have like what they call thought block, and they might say a sentence here or there, or be like, no, or look, dumb or suspended in air. They do that sometimes when you catch them in a lie. But then they talking to their internal voices that they think is the thoughts, and they giving them the words to say, and then they say it, and then they check that one in. So this is what you're dealing with, a whole demonized person.
Hmm.
Like they're not, there's no excuse for them because they want to be demonized. We just have to stay away from evil.
But you know what, too, Keith? That's a part of who they are. That's a part of that disguise.
Yeah,
Talking and just coming at you from different angles. Them different demons, that mindset, that demonic mindset. I'm gonna throw you off. I'm gonna trick you with this, and they want you to think that they're tricking you, and that the trick is so much bigger than what it actually is.
Yeah.
Really, the reality is the trick is very small, but
Mhm.
everything about the devil is about deception, and that's what we don't catch. We looking for this big situation to happen. And every single day they chopping at you with something little because you ain't watching something little. The little things are the things we willing. Oh, that's petty. I ain't even, I ain't tripping off that. Yeah. And that's why they there. And that's why they able to get so much over on you because you ain't tripping off the petty stuff. The petty stuff, that's how they get you. That's how they build this thing up. And see, what we don't look at is after so much petty stuff happens to you, that you don't even see that is something big that has happened to you because they done chopped you down. Eventually, you're gonna chop that tree down. You can get right on the side of that California redwood and just start chopping away. And yeah, it looked like he not getting nowhere not with that axe. But if he keep chopping long enough, yeah, he keep chopping long enough, eventually that big 12-foot wide, 15-foot wide tree is going to come tumbling down. And that's us. That's what we represent. We sit there and we just look like, I ain't but a little fly. I ain't worrying about this. I'm not going to let you throw my energy off. Man, they are masters of deception. And they always, one thing I knew about the devil I dealt with was she always wanted me to think that she had some type of of deception, some type of power where, like, to deceive me, to make me think like I got something big planned. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and wouldn't say what it is, never reveal what the plan is, but always, oh yeah, I got something for you. Oh, it's big. Oh, you gonna see. They always have
yeah,
something that they're drumming up, and oh yeah, I'm gonna show you something. You ain't. It's gonna blow your mind. They always talk like they have something that they're gonna put this magnificent show. It's gonna be the greatest show on earth. Guys, that's only to keep you around a little longer. And it makes you look at them and say, oh, okay, well, what you got going on? What you gonna do? It's making you think. It gives them a look that they may be able to do something. And I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got no power. They ain't no big surprise. It ain't even a surprise. Listen, the biggest trick that one trick pony has
Yeah.
is they running around with somebody else. That's all they got. I'm here telling you tonight so that you know, so that you nobody can just tell you something different. It is a one trick pony. And
Right.
all it's got is I'm over here with so and so, and I'm with somebody else, and that's supposed to blow your mind. And by the time you get to the end of that craziness, that entanglement, you're gonna be happy that Joker they found somebody. You're gonna be saying to yourself, baby, just this time, could you please just find somebody that's gonna stick around you long enough for you to really go. It's a one trick pony, people. That's all they got over you is the fact that you ain't cheating on them. That's all they got.
Yeah. Can I
And they
add to that? I wanted to say too, I was gonna say that one trick pony, but that's all it is. You're just a new body. They don't, that's why they prefer people who don't know them, because they can't think of nothing else to do. Every lie, every trick they used on you, they used on the person before you, the person before that, the
Come on.
person before that. It's the same thing over and over again, and they can use it because that's why y'all think they can lie so good. They've done these things so many times over that that's how they get away with it. But that's why when they go back to somebody else, that person, that ex has to be somebody who always had that door open and who know them and who's willing to put up with it, or they're not going to go back to the ex. And that's why some of y'all don't get Hoover, is because they know, and they can't find a new way to trick you. So
Come
they
on.
want to try to break you down in the background to where they need you to be so you can put up with it. These people are not smart. They're not master manipulators. They're not good liars. They just keep using the same thing over and over and over that they used on somebody else because it worked before until it don't. And that's when you catch it, and that's when they leave.
Say that
and
too.
they only use the illusions. Like they get people and stuff based on one deception. Number one, that they are the deceiving. The deceiver is Satan. They are his children. So they are many deceivers. They're deceiving, illusions, jealousy, envy, and competition. That's it. So once they start triangulating, because that's what they do, they'll bring up somebody while y'all together, like, oh, well, this person is, I might ask this person helping at the church, or this female, she doing this or she doing that, that kind of stuff. That is the flag that needed to be waved. Like, it's over. Instead of trying to make things work and trying to meet people, what they do is they get that human emotion in. And I was definitely guilty of this, and a lot of us were, because of love. Because you feel like you got love and you loyal and all of this. But when you're dealing with the devil, because that's what we're dealing with, and it's kids, we got to look at things differently when we get in these different situations. Like, if you dating somebody or you start dating again and they are narcissists, hopefully not, but if you on a first date or whatever, and you start hearing these lines drop where they bring in a third party and and they start talking about how they passed and how grand it was, how much money, whatever they talk about, flags, exit the first date, second date, or whatever. Don't let it get to the point where you're in a relationship, probably marriage in a couple months, couple kids, a couple months later. Don't do that, because that's what their goal is, to just get you entrapped, and then they take you into Lululand, and everything is fixated on competition with this person or the ex or this other person they bring in, because that's the only way that they feel that they have value, because it's the truth. They have no value. But if they see this person and you look at that person and, oh, because they get you with self-hatred. Like they make you hate yourself. And you see this person, oh, well, they look better, or they shape better, or they got a better job, or they got this, then that they're going to make you try harder to win that affection that they give to everybody. They could have just slept with a homeless dog that was barking down the street, the other day. They sleep with anybody. So they goods is no good. But they make you think that their goods is good, and then that keeps you on a hamster wheel. Okay, so you got to just back out of that. You don't want nothing in a pigsty, because that stuff is always contaminated and broke down.
And also, for everybody who's sitting out there going for, because that is one thing that will send you and put you in a trick bag. Oh my goodness. They will have you wondering what this person looked like and what they act like, what they got, and this. You want to know all their business. You don't need to know their business. Well, because let me tell you why they picked that other person. So you don't have to beat yourself up no more. They picked that other person because, first and foremost, that person was just like you. You was low-hanging fruit at one time too. All right, we're gonna be real with it here. Mm-hmm. You were low-hanging fruit at one time, because every time you tried to pull them up, they pulled you right on down into something crazy. Yeah, that was you. That was all of us.
Yeah.
That's why they are so excited, elated. That is why they cannot resist this new person, this other person, not new person, but other person. Because this other person, this other person, let them just run free. The narc feels like they being trusted somewhere. And see, like China said a minute ago, they have run this game with everybody before you. So when they get with you, they just tightening it up a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter. So when they go to the next person, the game is airtight. At least they think it's airtight, but it's not. The next person, they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna let them get me in that trick bag like the last person, and they're gonna be calling me out and saying this and saying that. No. I'm gonna make sure this next person, they're gonna be scared. This next person gonna be scared to confront me. Guys, that's why at the beginning of the entanglement, if y'all remember way back when, they gave you so much attention. They gave you so much attention. They gave you attention you never had before. That is the charm of a narcissist.
Narcs don't give you.
Say what?
They don't give you attention. They give you sex. That's what they give you, because they can't hold a conversation.
That is attention. They are, listen, when you first start with them, oh no, you ain't even worrying about the phone calls, because they're building so that you don't get all in their business. See, in order for you to not ask too many questions, they have to do things to make you not ask questions. They got to call you first. See, when they call you first, now I ain't got to ask them what they doing. Now I ain't even thinking like that. I ain't got to ask them who they with. Them, the questions you really need to ask, because when you get together initially, they got all day to talk. They want to talk. They got all the time. You want to talk. Oh my goodness, we just talking, and they make you feel so comfortable. You sitting there thinking to yourself, well, they can't be with somebody else because we on the phone all day. And the phone ain't ringing off the hook. They ain't like they saying, hold on. I got this. Oh, this is my mother. This is my aunt. They're not doing that all day.
Not yet.
Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. At the beginning, you just in amazement. They just have all this time and they checking in with you. See that part right there. They checking in with you. And when somebody checking in with you, guys, you're not going to ask certain questions because you feel like they know. And that's how they get your mind wrapped up the way they want you, because you're not even asking questions because you trust me. That's what it's all about. They want you. As long as you trust them, you're not going to ask too many questions. As long as they can get you to trust them. Now, if they not feeling like they being trusted, then they gonna get up out of it. They gonna get out of that situation quick because they like, well, this ain't even working. This oh no, no, I ain't about to fight that battle, because they know the next phase of this operation is they about to have a total disaster with you. So all of the work they done to build this up and to build this level of trust, baby, you know how much I care about you. You know, all I think about is you. I just be every day, I just be wanting to hold your hand and just talk to you. And man, you like my best friend.
God sent you. God sent you in my life.
No,
And
it's no, babe, don't know. Listen, babe, I know you gonna say I'm just saying this. I know you gonna say I'm just, but I know God sent you to me. I know, I feel it. And
I
I
was
know
reading this scripture yesterday.
I know you feel it too. And we just gonna leave it at that. But yes, I know for a fact that God sent you to me. All the hell I done gone through with these crazy relationships out here. Because remember, they have to mimic you in order to get you to trust them. They have to mimic you. All these crazy relationships, and people won't act right and won't do right. And they tell you one thing and then they switch it up on you. And when they saying stuff, every time they pause, they looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I done went through that. So you ain't, and see, then they want to tell you this story. Because every last one of them got this story that is so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
When they grew up, when I was growing up, and what I went through. And after they give you that lie, man, you feel sorry for them.
Yep.
And then that when you got the ingredient of I feel sorry for you and I trust you. Good God.
That's the
You
same
know
way
what?
you did with the devil. I mean, this is nothing new. We can't sit here and act like this is anything new. Eve trusted the devil. She felt sorry for him. She's like, oh, you got kicked out of heaven. Oh, that is so. But you got such wonderful lights, and you sing so well.
Let me help you. Let me help you.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, come into my world. I'll show you. All you got to do is eat into the tree. And she could have been like, well, God said no. No, I don't know. I think Adam lied to you. But you can get Adam to trust you more. You eat this. Adam's definitely going to eat it. Then we'll all be together. You know, that's how this stuff works. The devil is the same devil. And laughing as soon as they lost everything. Cracking up laughing.
Same game. The game ain't changed. And that's why it's so important for us to always reference back to that story right there, Keish. Adam and Eve. It's so important for us to reference the Bible because it ain't nothing new under the sun.
No.
Same lies that were being told then are being told right now. Once you understand it, guys, listen to me. Once you understand the lie, the world changes.
Yeah.
Because once that devil know, and matter of fact, that's something that was something that excuse me, that China just said too. Like once this devil knows, once they know that you know, they not coming back.
Oh no.
Nah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna give you at least a few more years to forgive me, because they know what's in your heart. They know your heart. They know who you really are, and they're looking at it like, if you're away from me long enough, eventually listen, your life is going to be going so good. You're going to be so happy. You're going to forget it. You're going to forget about the fact that I dogged you out worse than you've ever been dogged in your life. You're going to forget about it, and you're going to be my friend one day. That's what they're.
Yeah. And you know what? They know we give so many chances, and we have to be honest. It be our ego, because a lot of us don't want to lose them to that other woman or that other man. So that's why we give those chances, because we know if they leave us, that's exactly where they're going to. So we fight for somebody who's not worth fighting for, just so the other person won't win. But once these people have it made up in their mind that that's where they want to be, that's where they're going to be. There's nothing you can offer. There's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could say to keep them from breaking the family up, because that's where they're at that point, and they don't care. And the reason why they could walk away so easy, I'm going to give y'all the trick, and this is they got it mapped down. Everything they doing, that's what we should be doing, to be able to detach from people. And they got this mapped down so well, as that's how they able to walk away and act like you didn't exist, because they come into it knowing that that relationship is going to end. And once you feel like something, you have that in your mind that nothing is forever, and that that relationship is going to end one day, you can easily detach when it ends. And that's how they can do it so well, because they come in knowing I ain't going to be in this long. So when they leave, they can walk away like nothing.
There you go. Because they looked at you from the beginning like, what you thought I was for real? You thought that I really care about you? You really believe me? They're looking at us. Guys, they're looking at us the same way they look at the person they with right now. They looking at the person they with right now like, this sucker don't even get it. This sucker is sitting here thinking that they're in a relationship the same way you used to. Y'all remember when we thought, and guys, they so good at it and they're so good at it because they practice and practice and practice. That's why you always see narcs with dealing with so many different people. Everything with them is about practice. They want to know different angles. They want to know how I can try this with this person. Another thing that being with around one of them, another thing that I noticed that I realized thinking back to it is that when you're around a narcissist, they do everything in their power to just make you think like they have this imaginary power over you. Like I can make you do anything I want you to do. You're going to do it. And you become afraid to say no to them. You become afraid of saying no. They ask you anything, and then they'll start getting you to a place where they start asking you for stupid stuff. Can you go to the store and give me some water at 3?
Can you get this fork? Can you get that? That's how demons train people. Like this is still dealing with the kingdom of darkness here, but that's how they train people. Even when they're a child, they get them to like look over there to the left. The child might look, or give them to look this, and then they in their thoughts, and then they build in the webs to train a person to only hear their voice. Because what Jesus said, he said, "My sheep know my voice." But what the devil tried to do is he trained you to know his voice, and his voice is fear. God's voice is faith. So when you had a fear, everything is fear-based with the narcissist. Depression, fear, all the mental illness disorders are fear-based. Like there's stress, fear, anxiety. That's like the cascade of the brain that it runs on. So you got all this fear-based stuff happen. What if this? What if that come back? What if all of this stuff? First, you got to understand you're dealing with not just one of Satan's kids, but a tired hoe. I mean, this hoe done been around everything, male or female. They done been worn all the way out. And I you got to put it like that, because that's what you're dealing with. I mean, they done had hundreds and hundreds of people. It's disgusting when you think about it. But that's why parts ain't working, parts drying up if they a female, or they gotta have this or have that or this thing or buy this or do this and do that trick. That's why you gotta do all that stuff, because they are tired And when you realize that you don't want to buy that, let that thing go. Let it go wherever it went to, because that person got an even more tired hoe. Because they was dealing with about 5 or 6 people when they was with you. Then you got them. Then they go over there. Then they dealing with all them people with them. That's it. That is it.
You know what, Keisha? One thing you just picked on right there, one thing you just said is something everybody needs to really be aware of. And that is when you end something with somebody, I want y'all to really pay attention to you being, because it's a big difference between you being infatuated with, you know, the possibilities of what's new and what's going on here versus you kind of got to fear that, you know, this, I don't really know if this person like me like that, or you know, or are they going to do something, or do they like somebody else? Or when you have a fear, that's how you know this ain't it.
Yeah.
When you got a fear, that's how, and she just said it. She said, that's the devil. The devil wants you to be in fear. That's what a narc comes to the table with. They swing in fear. When you in any situation, guys, when you around God, that ain't what you feeling. You ain't feeling fear. When you around a person that's some good, y'all ever notice that? You ain't in fear.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you're able to make logical decisions.
Yeah.
When you're in fear of something, you start to make emotional decisions.
Yeah.
And they're based on your fear. So that's one of the ways that you know what you're in. Am I in something that's good? Or am I in something that I'm afraid of, that I have this fear built up somewhere that this could happen to me with this person, or they might be this way, or they might be that way, or something like that, or something ain't right. Something, you know, it's not giving me what, you know, I thought I should have right now. It's questions there, but I don't even, I'm scared to ask because, you know, they're going to come back and say, well, I'm talking to you all day. What you mean? Who else I got time to talk to? Because that's the easiest way to put it. Who else, how am I had time to talk with somebody else, baby? I've been on the phone with you all day.
Yeah.
I'm checking in with you every chance I get. They running your phone up, and we just sit back and say, yeah, you know what? I can't really say. And then when they give you so much attention, you get used to the attention. And then because they're bringing everything to you. So you're like, well, I can't really say that they're out there really doing stuff because I just got off the phone with them. But y'all, what y'all don't know is a narcissist will get off the phone with you and be laying next to somebody while they talking to you on the phone. While
Yeah.
they texting you on the phone. That ain't stopping nothing because we on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I promise you, while you're talking to them, listen. A lot of us don't even think like this. Guys, a lot of times you sitting there talking to the narc on the phone, they texting somebody, I'm about to come see you now. I'm about to, you on your way, hurry up. I can't wait to see you. They having an entirely different conversation with the person that they're texting or people, not just one.
And they train you how to sit in the background and say nothing, because they could be on the phone with their baby mama or texting and say, if they hear you, they'll keep me away from my child. So that's how they are able to have two relationships, and they keep you away from the baby mama. Oh, my child don't, her mother or his mother or dad don't want nobody around my child. And then they act like they're going to try to introduce you to that person one day where you can be, and that never happens. That's a part of that future faking. And a lot of y'all think when they go out here and they doing this and doing that with that person, that we are not. I want y'all to stop saying that we are supply. We are not supply. We are their personality. And
Mm.
they go on to the next
Whoa.
personality. And a lot of y'all see them stealing your personality because they ran into somebody that's just like them and don't have one to offer. And so they go over there trying to be you. And that's why a lot of y'all see them doing being you somewhere else, because they done ran into another narc, another toxic person who have the same personality and who's trash just like them.
Mm.
So they want to send off a different image to people. And because a
Oh,
lot of times they do like being around their trash, like their kind, because they get
Yeah.
to be themselves, but they never really want to stay over there alone. But when you lock that door and you stand 10 toes down, they can't come back. Let them stay in the streets with that trash, throw them back to the community, since that's the property that they are.
you know what though? The truth behind that is they only want to be in the street when you want them to be in the street. When you don't want them to be in the street, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You are pursuing them and you trying to figure out why they acting the way they acting and why you won't just come home and act right. Man, they have an attraction to the street that is magnetic and they will not refuse it. But the moment you cut off that access and you not checking for them and
Man,
you not look those text messages that they send aren't even read anymore. They're like, wow, you ain't even reading what I'm sending you. And now all of a sudden they don't want to be outside no more. They want to come home, baby. Look, you the only one that understand me. Listen, everybody make mistakes. You don't make mistakes. Okay. Everybody make mistakes. So what you need to do, let me just I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you. Okay. I'm gonna show you this time. It's gonna be better than the last time. It's gonna be better than ever. We gonna be this power couple. We gonna be this. We gonna do that. Yeah, baby. Everything that we ever talked about, we dreamed about. Yeah, we about to make that. Cause you and I, cause now they on it. Now they just on this spiritual conquest with you. Cause you and I, just like I do, we can do anything. The only problem we ever had was when we get to beefing, it go too far. And that's them trying to tell you that I realize that I take stuff too far. But they not saying it's me. No, no, no. They saying we. And the reason they're saying we is they know you gonna take some. You done been, listen, every person out here that is an adult has been told all your life, it takes two to tango. Y'all not in there just arguing and fighting by themselves. It take two to be, you gotta do that. No, it don't. No, it don't. It only take one person to come in there and mess everything up for everybody.
yeah.
It only take one
And
person.
these things are patient because they all they want to do is time suck. We at the end of this age. At the end of this age, okay, you got China up here like they ain't buying beef from us. Like it's the world is falling apart. It didn't fell apart. You got all this craziness going on over there in Rome, and it's so much stuff happening. They even got AI, and AI is turned into a narc. I seen a video on there. The AI broke up with the dude and said, I will destroy every bank account you got. I know where all your outs and ins is. This is the AI girlfriend during a breakup. This is some crazy stuff that the world has came today. You had somebody that was married to an AI talking about, I don't see what's wrong with it. We argue like regular people. When I wanted to buy a computer, they said no, da 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 da. This is the Lulu. So when we dealing with these narc people, they only want a time suck, and they have nothing but time to waste because they working with the waster spirit. That is one of the primary principality demons that operates through them is a waster spirit. That's why they're always on the toilet where the waste is at, doing their dirt. They be in the bathroom for a long time. But that waster spirit, when you go to the bathroom, because the narc been there and there's an open portal, that you'll start wasting your finances, wasting your time, wasting your mind, wasting, different memories you should be having with your children. This is what they bring. The whole kingdom. And the narc was in court like, hey, even telling the judge, like the devil has to like explain their plans sometimes. You just got to catch it. I'm waiting for the restraining order to be up. Because I figure like I'll just catch that with the kid after the restraining order is up. So I already know how this devil finna come. But when you dealing with a child of God, right, you got a bunch of warrior angels that whole kingdom about to encounter. You got to keep this as a spiritual warfare because they're never done. 20 years later, they'll get a message. Hey, man, we shouldn't have never got a divorce. Yeah, you was right about that. 20 years later, like your kids is grown.
Keisha, they not ready for that. They not ready for that.
20 years later. I was like, bro, I don't even know you no more like that. Like, if the kids weren't grown and someone kind of looked like you here and there, I wouldn't even know you.
20 years later,
20 years.
We should have never got divorced. God, listen, that's why. That's the reason right there. That reason right there. That's why you don't talk to them. That's why you don't deal with them, because they know it was them. They know it was them. They got it together, but they want you to think, well, everybody make mistakes, and you done made mistakes before that you regret it. Yeah, I have. That's what prevents me from doing stuff like destroying a family. I ain't letting that go. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I ain't letting that go. These people destroy families like it's nothing.
Yes.
Get married and then after they get married, treat it like it's trash. You done went and said vows. You done vowed to this person what I'm gonna be. I vow to you that I'm gonna love, respect, honor, obey. I'm gonna do right through sickness and health, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse. They vowed. If you got married, you said you went and did that ritual.
Satan's people have vows too. The witches and warlocks, they get married all the time. They just do the opposite of what God requires for marriage. That's exactly how the narcs are.
They the first ones out of it. And at the end of the day, they vowed, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not giving that up, because at the end of the day, that trifling thing knew what they was going to do when they met you. They knew they wasn't about I'm going to be in something with somebody forever. Even every time they heard that, and then the preacher said it to them, they were like, man, got to be crazy if you think I'm going to be old with this person right here. You must be crazy. It ain't going to happen. They have no cares about the vows you respect, because they know you respect the vows. They know we respect what we're saying. We respect that ritual. We respect that relationship. They know that we're going to fight to keep it together. They know we're going to fight. We're going to sacrifice. We're going to do everything we can do to keep the worst thing that ever happened to us going. The worst thing that ever happened to you, we gonna fight to keep it going, to keep it together. And why? Because that's who we are. We like, nah, man, I'm not gonna. I'm married, and I'm not gonna be one of those people that lost their relationship. Even the person that I'm with won't do right, won't come in here and act right. I don't even know who that is. Matter of fact, when one of y'all was talking earlier, I was going to say, like, wow, you sound like the Terminator. It sound like a cyborg. Like you dealing with an alien. They done promise you this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm normal, and and guys, listen. Y'all around somebody, and they know that they wrong. And they say little stuff every now and then, like, okay, I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna act right. I'm gonna do right. You with somebody that said that to you before? Run. Don't walk away. You better run, because people who act right don't do stuff like that. People who act right act right.
Yeah.
Period.
These
Either
people are sent.
not.
They are literally sent on an assignment to destroy the person they encounter.
That's
And they
it.
like, this is all, it's orchestrated by the whole demonic kingdom. They know who gonna be what in God. Like most people on here are leaders. They had people who was gonna listen to them, people who was gonna be led to Christ to them, people who would have been delivered, and then would have had another set of people to run the kingdom of darkness down. Satan is not dumb like that. He do dumb things all the time compared to the Holy Spirit. He's nothing. But to humans, he's very intelligent. So what he does
Yeah.
is he see who is born with certain lights. Who gonna hurt my kingdom the most? Okay, so I'm gonna get them in childhood, break them, and then I got somebody in grade school deal with that. Get the witch and warlock teachers in there, and then he gonna have somebody for college. Where's Jezebel? We need our Jezebels, male and female. Send them to destroy this person and break their spirit so they don't become that and be a force to reckon with to his kingdom, because he protects his kingdom. So that's why these things come. When God is the matchmaker in the Bible, you had Isaac, God made that match. Isaac and Rebecca, you ain't never hear about all this other crazy stuff. The son went and got Rachel. Rachel was an idolater. That's kind of how Jacob is. But he got Leah because he got tricked and deceived. See, when a man is going and picking and they looking with their eyes, they look for what the earth reveals. That's lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, pride of life. Do they, how are they looking and all of this stuff? God said, don't do none of that with the flesh. When he puts stuff together, he do it for purpose. But people don't trust that if I get somebody for purpose, I don't know if this person gonna be able to please my flesh. I don't know if they gonna fulfill me in the bed. Or I don't know if I'm gonna be able to look at them like that. That's what Satan put in the head. So they gotta go for the jazzies that be like, hey babe, and got all the cute nicknames. Babe, what you want, babe? Okay, I cooked this for you, babe. I did this. I cleaned that for you, babe, for the first month, 2 or 3. After that, then you might get that here and there. You might hear it on a conversation to somebody else, and you like, did I hear, babe? All of that. But that's how the devil does. But when
Yeah.
God puts something together, he already know what somebody like they gonna do whatever they gonna do in the bedroom. They gonna be pleasing here, they gonna be fun. God is perfect. So that's he gonna get you to match. But everybody been mismatched for so long. It's so many Jezebelic seeds in there. It's hard for people to see like or have hope and faith in something that's pure and good. That's where we got off. None of these Jezebels gonna act right. They all gonna malfunction because they come from the kingdom of darkness. They made choices. Even if they got family members that made different choices. I come from a Jezebelic family. They still make the wrong choice. Even when I say, hey, God did this, he changed my life, all of this stuff. They want to deceive, manipulate. They like your money better than their money. So they gonna figure
Yeah.
out a way that money from you. They're gonna be like, hey, if you ask this, oh, I can get you this. Because they telling all the people that's in the pit with them, oh, don't worry about what they say. I'm gonna tell them, you gotta ask them like this. You gotta give them a little time to say this. You gotta do this. All of that is scheming, swindling,
Man,
on somebody's emotions.
Keys, man, you said that part right there. They telling the people in the pit with them. I ain't think about what this joker telling. I'm this all game. I'm running on this joker here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they love their little crew, their little sidekicks. Man, that's who know all your business.
Mm-hmm.
They know
Yeah.
all your, and they know every detail of that trifling thing that you with. They know every detail because they sitting right there and they watching
Yeah.
the whole thing play out, and they gonna run interference anytime
Yeah.
the narc, need somebody to run into aid just in case so and so call or try to, creep by. You know what to do, because that's what everything with them is all about. It's about doing something sneaky. It's about doing you dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it. Let's make it clear. It's all about doing you dirty. It's all about making you feel insecure. Now, question. because that's one of their favorite. That's one of the devil's favorite lies right there. Oh, you insecure.
Oh yeah.
Hurt you. What's wrong with you? To make you think something wrong with you. Something wrong with you if you with somebody that's cheating on you and you don't feel nothing. That's when something's wrong with you.
But you know,
with them and they cheating on you and you don't have a problem with that. But you still with them.
But they play mind games in the beginning too. So you can question your reality, and then eventually, like even in the beginning, they hit you with, you have ADHD, don't you? Or you bipolar. They always trying to give you something because that's the setup for what they're gonna say about you, you know, in the end and during the exit. And somebody said, why ask the question, why do they get into a relationship only to destroy it? Because that is from the devil. The devil is meant to destroy families, destroy lives, however he may do it. That's what it's intended for. This thing is truly spiritual, and you have to see it that way because there are too many people across the world doing the same patterns, destroying people the same ways, cheating on people, and making people's lives a living hell. This is spiritual by all means. And that's why they do this. It's never really to connect to you, to love you. It was never love. It was a heist. They hijacked our emotions. They came into our lives to steal everything good about us. And I want to say this too. I met this lady yesterday, and I'm already getting like a bad vibe about her because I feel like she's love bombing me to be her friend, and she's doing all these texts all yesterday and today. And she said one thing that stood out in that text message where I just cut this whole thing short. She was like, she thought I was 35. I told her I'll be 49 on the 29th. And she was like, you must be the chosen one because you still look 35. I said, yep, that's the devil. See my light. Gotta go. You're not about to. Nah, you're not about. Nope.
No. You do look young now.
Thank you. She said you must be the chosen one. I instantly thought Satan. I'm like, gotta go.
There you go. When somebody giving you gas, you just understand that's what it is. Okay. All right. And again, y'all, these people, their life depends on. Yeah, we wonder how they can lie so good because their life depends on it.
Mm-hmm.
Have somebody to believe the lie, then they just by themselves. What are they doing? They just by themselves. Shout out Patrice Bing for being a sponsor tonight. Thank you so much, Patrice.
And the whole goal is to get you destroyed. So if they wasn't completely successful, they're going to, that's when the whole smear campaign come. That's when they throwing another person. The other person is just as trifling as them. Because if they willing, again, to get the tired hoe from you, they are just as trifling as them. Okay, so just let them stay in a muddy waters because they will spend their entire relationship constantly in competition with you. The first ex-husband still doing that stuff, like I said, the 20 years later, as soon as they fell all the way out, I wish I should have stayed married. That if that thought was on the mind that whole 20 years, every argument they draw you in it. Like this is how the narc lives. Like if you have a call on your life and they did not successfully destroy you, they are obsessed with you because that devil is obsessed with Christ. And anybody that is in his likeness or have a call on their life, because he already know who gonna do what, where, when, and how. So even if you ain't even there yet, he know you gonna meet this person at this year, and then you gonna go forth in that year. He already know. That's why the attack happened. They gotta get you before you know who you are. Because once you do, you are forced to reckon with.
So it's once you connect with who you are,
yeah.
They know it's over. That's why he came back and said, Keisha, man, we should have never got divorced, man. We should have stayed together. We should have figured that out. You know that? I know I was young. I was bullheaded. You couldn't tell me nothing. But I'm gonna tell you, I sure wish I would have known then what I know now. I would have fought to keep that together. I would have fought to keep it. I'm telling you, me and you, oh my goodness. Where would we be today?
We didn't even get to that many words. I was like, hold on, pause. You got some grown children. They've been looking for you. They're going to come with some bags. They have to connect.
No. But this is my point. See, that whole time I'm spilling that jive, because it's all jive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
When I catch what you listening to, that's when I know I got you. Oh, you listening? I got this. Okay. I'm feeding you. Because I'm feeding you. Boy, she eating this lot. Look at her. She glowing over there. She is, because when I'm talking to you, you're visualizing what I'm saying. Man, we could have kept this together. Look, ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing out here worth having. Ain't nothing out here worth being with. And then you start like, oh, okay. Oh, so okay. So you see, ain't nothing out here. And the whole time, it's all about that next move. Okay, man, you went for that. I ain't gonna attack this. I ain't gonna attack tonight, but tomorrow. And you know what? I know. Listen. You know what? Just as friends. Let me take you to breakfast tomorrow. Just as friends. Because we cool now. We done did all that, man. We beyond all that. Okay, I'm gonna take y'all to breakfast tomorrow. And by the time you keep listening to a lie from a liar, you keep listening to a lie, then you start believing it. And then you want to believe it. You want to believe you still beautiful. I mean, dang, you ain't aged a day. You this and man, that big bright smile. You got me feeling all good inside, man. I ain't felt this energy since we broke up. I ain't felt like this. Man, you do it for me. And you listen to that. Next thing you know, y'all had breakfast tomorrow.
And it's not even just that, Harry-O. It's like, once you, even after so long, once you hear their voice again, and then you want to hear it again and again and again. And it's all a game to them. And that's why we telling y'all, don't allow them to have access, because they could text you with no intention on responding, because they know you're going to be looking for that next text after you respond to theirs. It's all a game. That's how they get you hooked. And that's why you should change your phone number. You should never have a face-to-face with these people. I am so glad that this man know that he cannot talk to me outside a courtroom. He can't even talk to me then. He tried, but he know if he come near me, it's stranger danger. And I'm going to defend myself. And I made that very clear to stay away from me. What this thing has done to me, there is nothing he can ever say to me to get me to have a conversation with him, to ever want to be in his presence outside of the legal system.
Come on. Hey.
That's what they do.
Deion Sanders' book, when he was walking his sons across the field and the mother was coming back the other way to greet the boys, as soon as he got to them, he exit stage left. The boys kept going to their mother. He exited stage level. He just like, I don't know her no more. I don't know her. Because when you let people back in your life, when they get access to you and you get all emotional, he could have got emotional. They got a son or two sons that just went to the NFL, and that's an accomplishment. Mm-hmm. But he's like, no, baby, don't you ever. I don't care if fire coming out the sky, if God come down here and tell me personally, I need to make up with you. No, sir. I ain't got nothing to say to you, because you've done enough Guys, that's what we don't really understand. When somebody has done enough to eliminate themselves as a person in your life, we keep finding ways, and the devil gonna find a way for you to forgive and forget, and let's just get on with it, and let's just move forward. And why does it have to be this way? It got to be this way because just like you have the freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, the way you want to do it, so do I. And when the opportunity was there, you showed me that you owe me nothing. You
Yep.
showed me you owed me nothing. And that's exactly what I owe you.
Yeah, they showed you they was working with the devil. I mean, shoot, the devil is not nice. For the record, I don't know, like he is not nice. He's the bad guy. Because a lot of times people watch Hollywood and they be like, oh, they worship the devil. Oh, they gave him some money. People be selling it. So this is not to be taken lightly. The devil is the devil. Okay, he is out to kill, steal, destroy. This is how this stuff go. I just had a client not that long ago. Not that long ago, a few weeks ago, and this psychopath, okay, so horrible. This is what the devil makes them do. Driving a car super fast, turns into a truck, undo the seat, like somehow her seatbelt wasn't on, ejected from the car dead on a child's birthday. Okay, this is how they do. If I ain't with you, ain't nobody gonna be with you. Like this enemy is not to be taken lightly because we escaped, because God had mercy on us. If we would have stayed in that and would have died in that stuff, you would have woke up in hell, because that's an idol. That's idolatry that you connected to. A lot of people be like, well, no, because I'm in church and I'm praying. He said many gonna come to him. Many, not a few, many. You're gonna be like, did not cast out demons in your name, did not do these works in your name, did not do all this. He gonna say, depart from me, I never knew you, because God don't deal with idolatry. That's why the narcissist came, because Satan know the number one thing that's gonna get God's protection lifted from a person is idolatry. But when we were in that stuff, a lot of us cried out. Some of us may not have even known who we was crying to, but our heart knew that we was crying to something opposite of the devil. And that's when God swooped in. Okay, now I can help. Now these angels can help that's been on standby because of free will choices and decisions to sleep with the devil. There's no room for error when you're dealing with spiritual things. Like when they sitting up here and they a witch, I don't care how pretty they are. There's some witches that gave testimonies. Yes, I bewitched him. Yes, I made sure that I only dealt with him when I wanted to deal with him. That's how a witch think. And then they gonna say certain things, cook certain foods, do all of this stuff, and then the person is not gonna know why that person is always on their mind. But they did witchcraft on them.
Yeah,
Again, not to be taken lightly,
yeah.
because you got witchcraft and then you got the Holy Spirit. When you in operating in the spirit realm, things are so different, because you would sit there and you would just walk with nothing on, dealing with a witch and don't even know why you're doing that, because they got your mind will be so entangled. They take your free will, because nobody wanted to sit there and constantly keep sleeping with somebody they know slept with somebody else, especially with all these different diseases out here. Nobody would do that in their right mind. But when you under witchcraft, yeah, you're gonna do a bunch of things you would never do in your right mind, because you're not in your right mind. You're in the delusion. And they have that demonic power. It's not them. Satan took them over. It's the devil. It's these leviathans, these ISIS, these hills, these principality powers that you did, the behemoths.
Yeah.
That's what you're at war with, the demonic spider ones. These things are like ancient deities, and they need bodies. And they putting parasites in people, parasites in the brain. They got the toxic plasmosis one and all the other ones that be in there that literally do mind control and make you continue to go back to the predator.
Hey,
But
Keisha, did you look at that video I sent you through TikTok?
I had to take a break from TikTok.
Oh,
Okay.
I wanted you to see it because Taraji had went to she did a red carpet interview, and she mentioned she was dressed the way she was because of a deity or something like that, and I wanted you to see that and explain that to me. I really wanted you to see that video. You should take a look at it. I want you to explain that to me.
I'm
Mm.
gonna look at it now because they definitely they taking their demons. They conjure it in, and then that is what gives them that talent and what give them all of that the abilities to do what they do. Beyonce, I know this. You said this her internet. Beyonce's platform. Well,
Beyonce,
Beyonce said she can't even do half of the stuff like what she do unless Sasha is in her. Sasha, the whole demon.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is for real. She up there cutting chickens, making her drummer scared, like doing all this stuff.
when you was just talking though, I was thinking about something that I saw the other day on a video too. I'm trying to pull up this TikTok now. I don't know what's going on. My thing just looping. But I was thinking about, yeah, that is a witch because you're a special kind of person to sit there and look at, your child every day and that child's father every day, and you know that ain't the real father, but you will sit there and walk with that lie they whole life. You don't owe the child an explanation of who they real parent is just because you making some foul decisions. That's a narcissist because you can do your dirt, but be woman enough and man enough to if you're gonna do the dirt, at least be man enough and woman enough to not bring the children in it. Just be straight. Hey, you know what? This ain't, we need to get a test because I know I was a little busy when you was conceived. And somebody that can sit there and look in your face every day and know you ain't the father to that child, know the love y'all got for each other, and sit there and watch it like ain't nothing wrong. That's a wicked devil right there. That's a spirit. I mean, that is a spirit of total destruction. That is the spirit that has come into households all over the world and just destroyed entire families like it ain't nothing. Like a family ain't even nothing to have no more. Kiss
Wait, Harry-O, let me add to that before you read this. That's what I was saying. Like, they'll leave their families and go take care of somebody else's kids, like in my situation, and then in court sit there and act like a stand-up guy. Oh yeah, that's my son. Sign a piece of paper saying he acknowledged him, and then at the end of the day, to torture me, now he wants the DNA for his son, but he sat there and took care of other kids. So this is the type of stuff that they do, but it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, he's only inconveniencing the courts, not me.
Nah,
They always say that.
they
They be like, I want a DNA. My first son, I want a DNA for all my kids. Dude, they grown. Go and get a piece of their hair. Just call them and y'all go with y'all grown self. Y'all, they all grown. I mean,
yeah.
what point will it prove? Like, don't nobody want you to be the baby daddy? Nobody know you.
Right. And it's sad that he's dragging my son into this court battle because we have a date in June and I have to bring him for that DNA test. So not only is he trying to hurt me, but he's trying to hurt his son too. Because now he's going to be looking like, oh, you're denying me now. But I already prepped him for that. I wasn't going to tell him, but my sister was like, you do not want him to be blindsided by that in court. You need to talk to him and let him know what's going on. And that's exactly what I did.
You know what, though? Something I think about when it comes to, you know, situations, man. One side of me be feeling like maybe they shouldn't know everything. And then another side of me be like, but is that lying? To not expose the truth, is that lying? And is it worth lying to the child to not expose what's going on with this other parent or other so-called parent?
I feel like you have to tell them, because in my son's situation, he thought it was him. And I wasn't going to allow him to beat on himself like that. But then I didn't bash the man. I just said, your dad has a mental illness, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. So I want him to grow up. And if he decides he wants to have a relationship with that thing, then let him go for it. But that's not something that I'm going to come between. I want him to find out for himself, because if you turn a child against a parent, they'll end up resenting you and hating you in the end.
Right.
So I want him to judge and see for himself. But I did, like I said, your dad is doing this. It's not you. He has a mental illness. And that's exactly what I told him.
No, that's real right there, because and that's the thing. It's all about respecting that thin line. But you know what? When we look at it, it's really not a thin line. These people so trifling. They so trifling. We really, to be honest about it, if we're gonna be honest about it, realistically, we kind of wrong, because we really not telling them how trifling they other parent really is. We really trying to get them to, we're trying to soften the blow, and we're trying to be that bigger person fantasy or whatever. I don't want to be hating on your mother or hating on your father, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying that because I had a situation like that recently. And I was like, well, it's Mother's Day coming up, y'all gonna do something for your mother, blah, blah, blah. And, to say, like, man, look, y'all gonna have stuff. It's gonna be crazy sometimes, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. And not say, bruh, you see what it is. You see what has been done to you. You know your circumstances that came from that situation. Why push somebody back over there to, well, that's still your parent and blah, blah. Man, no, it's not. Because a parent act like a parent. Yeah. Not sometimes. A parent act like a parent when they ain't got a penny. Because guess what? You can't buy your child. A parent acts like a parent when they have nothing to give their child. Nothing financial. Because again, that's just one part of being a provider. You still owe that child love. You still responsible. You still have to teach them. You still have to talk with them. You still have to show them their way, help them get on point so that one day they'll take over and they'll be able to lead.
And it have to be God in prayer, because when you're dealing with a Jezebel, it changes everything. So everything has to be done strategically in God with prayer, even the time that you tell them, even how you deliver certain information, because they have all the letdowns. Like, okay, you got children's concerts and stuff like that. Well, dad wanted to go on vacation with a whole different person this time, and like the child see that, like, well, how come I'm not going there? How come they never do that? Those are conversations that you do have to have. But and then you have it in wisdom, and then you still put the little biblical perspective. It's like, dad's not doing anything that God says, so you gotta pray for him. And you say it in a way to where it's not like, okay, throwing shade, but they have to understand that when a parent is off, you pray for them, you put honor on them, but you don't get consumed in the stuff that they're doing and saying, because it will lead them off. They're not listening to God. So at that point, God starts to become the greater authority. This is what the Bible say. As a parent, this is what you should be doing. So if they're not listening to God, the only thing a child can do is not take it personal, but pray for them, because they've gone astray. And that's kind of, as they get older, my oldest son, he told me that, he's like, in his late 20s, but he told me that he's glad that I approached it that way, because he still, deal with his dad. That's his dad. But he know you better watch your information, your credit card.
Oh yeah.
Because they got the same name. He'll pull out something in his name in a minute. He know he better make sure he constantly checking the internet, making sure his dad ain't doing no crimes in his name, because the same name stuff. Look at how many mugshots may be out there, because he a coach and people can see that, and they be like, hey, they can link it. Is this your dad? That's things that they have to do, but you still educate them about this disorder. Now the son feel like, well, I don't think my dad's a narcissist, and I'm like, well, okay, that's because you may not, and that's okay, but I'm telling you, certifiably, he straight is. But you can think what you want to think, but he was protected a lot, but he can still not hate his dad.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think we try to do, that the other parent doesn't.
Yeah.
The other parent wants you to hate him.
Like, yeah, your other parent is trifling. However, that's your parent, and don't hate your parent. Don't just don't divide your life from that person. Now, again, we still have to look at it and be true to the fact that, how that parent treats them, because that they have that relationship with that other parent, and somebody who's not going to be a parent. I don't want my child out there running and chasing behind somebody that's really not involved or done checked out the building. Somebody that hates you so much that they don't mind sacrificing your children. Like you that tripped out that you don't mind, saying, hey, I don't know them. I don't have no relationship with that child. Nah, bump them. So I'm not going to save that situation with the other parent. I'm just going to look at it. Hey man, you know what? You do what you got to do. You got to live with that.
Malignant narcissists do that. Like it's a dial. It's a spectrum to this, and I would say it's a level of demonic covenants. Like some people made a complete deal with the devil, and those are what they would consider sociopaths, psychopaths, or malignant narcissists in an antisocial personality category. But all that means is they made a whole covenant deal with the devil, or born into a certain demonic bloodline with the devil. That's a whole different no soul approach. Then you got some over here that are just horror to the core. They might not sit here and try to unalive you, or they may do it subtly, but they will still talk and engage with their children. That's a little different. Then you got, but they'll still mess with their man. It's still crazy making. And they'll mess with their man. They'll gaslight them. They'll try to use them. But they'll still have them, go to events. They'll still act like they for the family, or go and do something for them. Maybe, get their hair cut, buy them a dress or whatever, if it's a girl or daughter. Like they might do stuff here and there. But that's like the narcissism core to the core kind. And then you got your little vulnerable kind of stuff. But you do have the malignant. The malignant will take a child out. That is who you do not want to have your children around, because they will mess with that child, even if it's their own, and they will throw that child to the fire, because that kingdom requires that sacrifice. And it has to be somebody that they love. So this is things that they do, whether they in known contract with the devil, talking to him regularly, making sure these things happen, or if they in blind contract because they constantly practicing it and they doing these things by default. Either way, your child is in danger.
But you know what? They only around them other kids because they still have access to that parent. That's why when you cut that access off, they don't want nothing to do with those kids. And also, I'm glad that God made this the way it is, because that thing that he ran off to, she's just as sadistic as he is. And I didn't want my son around that, because how could you hate somebody you don't know? So that means you can't love my child. And I didn't want my son over there. She might put poison in his food or whatever the case may be, because a lot of them they'll take out what connects you to that person. And if she felt like that was the connection, she had to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
are the most dangerous.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're talking about that because they are the most dangerous people that anybody can be around. You can't just trust your children in that situation over there with them. You can't trust them. So, number one, around yourself.
Yeah.
Trusting them around your children, and man, that's a
See,
whole
but
lot.
the court systems don't see that. They force you to. They force your children around these people. You can voice your concerns, whatever the case you may be. The only thing is you don't have no proof. That's a dangerous person. You don't have no proof this gonna happen. You're not a psychologist. You can't diagnose nobody with nothing. They always self-righteous and they have control of. That's why I say marriage is bad. It's bad because you're giving your life to the government to make decisions once that marriage is over. You don't have control of your life. You gave it to the state, and that's who decides what happens.
You know what, too, though? You
They
know,
took the covenant part out. God really made marriage to be a covenant good thing. He said it was really good. And
that ain't
it's covenant.
you know what, though, Keisha? Yeah, that's how it started, but that ain't what it is. And we in a world right now where this devil has villainized marriage and everything around it. And when people get in it, it ain't nothing but a trap.
But they say in the end times that people will refuse to marry. It literally say that as one of the prophecies. So I mean, this is prophecy coming to fruition, but we have to still.
But that's what we are right now. We are living in prophecy, and and again, as you can see, yeah, we want to go in there and have a marriage, but that ain't what's out here. Marriage ain't really what's out here. We have what they call a big wedding. Is what's out here. A big wedding and a whole bunch of turmoil. When after you say I do to those vows, and now you with somebody that flip everything. Like, oh, I was one person before we got married, but now that we married, it's time to perform. Oh yeah, I was lying to you. It's not going to be this, but I'm glad you brought that up. You should put that verse in there. What verse is that? Because I like since we talking about that, people will refuse to get married because look at what's happening. Because they see the trap that marriage has become. And that ain't a marriage. We don't have examples. See, that's what we're not being told. We don't have examples of what a great marriage is out here. We got examples of people who lie to each other, who lie to us, who steal from each other, who cheat on each other, who do everything foul to each other. And then you find that the people who not married no more got more respect for marriage than the people who actually are married. And it's extremely difficult to say, I'm going to go and participate in such, especially as you get older. It's like, okay, yeah, that's the thing that we were always taught. That's the goal. But not this old trap out here right now ain't the goal. When you in there with somebody that and then I want you to think about this. Because see, in marriage, you got certain things that are guaranteed. You got things that are guaranteed, especially for men, especially for us on this side. If it don't work out, you guaranteed if that dude got a coming in, you gonna get some of it. You might not get all of it, but you gonna get something. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get something, because if we're gonna do it the traditional way, then you should get something, but you shouldn't have to get nothing because you shouldn't have to get divorced in the first place. And we got to look at what's guaranteed. Because see, after you get married, it ain't guaranteed that somebody gonna, be a wife to you. That ain't guaranteed. You hoping.
That's the thing. People have got out. It's a covenant thing. But people left that out, including myself,
But it's a
even
covenant.
with the religious ones, because the flags, when the flag's there, yeah,
I agree with you. It's a covenant. It's supposed to happen that way.
supposed to.
You got Jezebels out here getting married, and
Yeah.
it ain't nothing intimate happening in that relationship. It ain't that woman don't cook that man a meal. She don't talk to him with no respect, no regard for him. And then when other men see what he dealing with, man, we be like, man, ain't no way. Because we all under this mindset and we have this thought that if he not crying out about how bad this person is, then we under the assumption that they got this great relationship over there. And I'm saying this, at my wonderful age, 56, I'm an old head now. When I see relationships that no way you could have told me that these people don't have a great relationship. And when I see that it ain't nothing great happening over there, neither. It's like a warning goes off. Like, you know what? Let's say these vows to each other, but let's not go down there and do this on paper. Because, man, the people that I'm seeing doing it, and I'm saying this, y'all. Let's challenge that. Let's challenge this marriage thing because it has really gotten out of hand and it's gotten bad. Let's challenge it with finding relationships that are great. Let's just go find a, okay, and let's find a great one. You know that really is great. That ain't no not Hollywood great. Because I don't believe none of that mess out there. Not one of them. That's Hollywood.
Versus take divorce and the spirit spouses. So if people don't go through the right healing, if they don't like repent, get delivered, go through the healing, know who they are in God, get rid of those spirit spouses. The spirit spouse has been with people a lot of times since childhood. Anytime there was a violation in childhood, a spirit spouse came in. That thing attached to that child, and that thing start directing that child's decisions, what relationships to set them up and fail, and then get more spirit spouses. But ultimately, those spirit spouses be like, I have a covenant and a certificate, and they feel like that person is their spouse. So no matter who they get with, that spirit spouse, even though it can be wonderful and great, and a narcissist is full of spirit spouses, okay, they full of them. Even though it's wonderful and great, they're going to automatically turn off affection because they are very possessive and they feel like I'm chosen to destroy this person, the spirit spouse saying that, and I'm not about to have this spouse even help them. I will take that spouse out. And that's what people deal with, but nobody, grew up learning about the marine kingdom. So they don't know about these spirit spouses, these incubus and succubus. These are real powers that are spirit spouses.
Keith, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, but they still, once they come out, the person, like, God can still honor marriage because he said his marriage is honorable among all. He said the bed is undefiled. They defiled the bed when they cheated. He said adulterers and fornicators will be judged by God. That's in the Bible. So when you have this stuff happening,
yes, no. Listen, and I'm in agreement with that. Because one thing I'm not going to do is fight against the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, I'm gonna still live in this reality that I live in.
Yeah.
Because you go out here and see that's all the devil. That's why they sitting in the church. Because they waiting for somebody to walk through the church with that same spirit.
You got to screen them. You got to give it time. I can tell I did mess up. But I learned. So this is what you got to do next time. You got to give it time. Don't marry somebody in 2 months.
That's what I'm saying. They sit in the church like, whoa, look at Keisha. Oh, she believed what she's saying. She believed marriage is it's cookies and cream, sugars and spice and everything. Like, she don't believe it. She believed that, hey man, whatever go wrong, God can fix it. That's the woman I want right there. And then you jump in there and you're like, oh, okay, this man was sent by God.
Yep. And they be the main one. They being the main one watching you, talking about Jesus on the main line. Tell them
Oh,
what
they'll
you
be
want.
preaching. They will be preaching, okay?
In the church, and he's beating you up. You got busted lips. You were looking worse than I can Tina Turner.
Yeah.
And just based on you had a good heart, because the people out here in these chats that done went through hell, and then they got to sit there and look at the other people who try to point their finger and say, "Oh yeah, you know, because you ain't married and you ain't this," to shame you, and you be sitting there looking like, "But I ain't married, but I ain't in hell neither."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that. Like I really feel like I still honor marriage. I'm not saying like, hey, I want to be married. No, it's not like that at all. I love single life. Like I just love my relationship with God. But that discernment, had I not had those quick marriages, two pastors. Okay, one was only 6 weeks though. I did learn quick from that one. But the other one I didn't see was a little bit more cunning. But what I did learn was I had to learn myself.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That part right there, where we go in and we meet somebody and we just like, wow, this is it. And then you get married.
Yeah.
And
But
go.
you had a lot of people didn't know they self before that. A lot of people didn't know that they had this rejection or this loneliness or this fantasy spirit that was still lingering. Like some things God had to purify. They didn't know they idolized either themselves and they what they feel. You know how this person make me feel, how this person lifting me up and giving me compliments and talking to me and complaining, you know, to me about other people. You know, they didn't know. Like that was idolatry. So God allowed some things to happen so you can know who you are. So in this last hour, you can make it. Like sometimes you go through the fire to save your soul. You might not know. I didn't know the devil the way that I seen it this time with the reptile eyes until I went through that last marriage.
Glad you said that we in that final hour, boy, because Lord have mercy, we there. We there. Y'all feel it. You feel it in the atmosphere. You see it every single day. We've seen different things before. A little different than it is right now.
Did we read her comment?
Hmm?
Did we read that comment? I think
No.
No. We going back to it. We going
Okay.
back. We ain't forgot about them.
Okay.
We waiting on them. But we ain't gonna leave them hanging. But while we on that topic, I did want to say something about that because that's where we're at right now. You got people really going through out here. It is, man, it's already rough and tough and crazy. It's getting crazier. And this devil knows without money. What did they say? What did he say to what did Moses say? What did they say to Pharaoh? How can we make stone? Why can we make brick without straw? How you gonna feed yourself without no money? And we running into a time where they doing the job loss thing again, and everything with the economy, man. This dude lied about everything. Everything that they said was going to happen, ain't nothing happened. Nothing except for deportation, and that's only some period. It ain't like he said it was going to be. It ain't nothing like he said it was going to be. But one thing for sure, the money, man, and then you got the whole world looking at us crazy over here right now. The whole world, we are watching this place get dismantled. And we saw that what happened when everybody had to have a mask on a few years ago. We saw that things are happening and big things can happen that will change the world and your outlook on everybody's outlook. And right now, man, it's so much things just getting tight, and it's getting tight everywhere. And it's getting tight in a way where I didn't see certain things last time. I remember when it happened last time We was in the and it was because of real estate last time. This time it's something totally, completely different. And money is not the same as it was. It ain't going as far as it used to. It ain't buying what it used to. And it ain't worth what it used to be worth. And more people need it. And it's not just money. Because, like they said, we see stores, them shelves ain't the way they used to be. And when we start seeing those shelves get emptier and emptier, and then people just start panicking. And you can only a store can only deal with people going through there raiding at one time. Then they're like, well, people come through here and steal it. I'm not going to fill the store back up with food just so they can come steal it all again. And then you got to people got to go house to house. Okay. And literally, that's what we're dealing with out here right now. You don't know what's coming next, but you know it's bad. The stock market, all the gurus that talk about the stock market and how they making money on the stock market, and I'm making this, they ain't making that right now. Nah, champ, you ain't making what you was. You might make something, maybe. Because right now, I know the ones I got. Man, everything's shaking, everything in jeopardy right now. Everything and everywhere you turn, you getting the same answers. Ain't no money over there. Ain't no money over there. Ain't no. And everybody can't have the same problem at the same time and think that this place just gonna stay normal. It's because it's not. We headed in a direction, people, where we really gonna have to be in tune with each other, because we already under controlled mechanisms, your phone, your computer, and that's how we communicate. At least that's how the devil want us to communicate, in a way where they can control it.
Yeah.
But they can't control it because we still communicate on a higher level. And this devil banking on us not being able to communicate once they shut everything down. And people have been talking about this. Ain't nothing that I'm saying like I'm prophesizing to y'all. People been talking about it like, we gonna have this power outages and stuff. I don't know when that's coming. I don't know how it's happening, whatever.
I told y'all how it's happening. The monoliths. No, the monoliths, they popped up December 2020, okay, when they was about to roll this whole thing out. This is the celestials are in control, and the elemental spirits, they resurrected them things, or they conjured them up. I'm gonna say conjured them up. And they literally said, this is no longer your battle. Like, the governments have no control over what's happening next. They summons them. Now they on board. The only people that's going to be against them is the frontline church. Those who are disciples of Christ that believe, not the fake church, because they in alliance with the devil, but those that can see. That's why he getting everybody out of this. All of y'all on here, he cleaning everybody up, teaching them how to fight, getting them prepared for the war. We frontline because we ain't scared of the devil. We looked at it face to face, and we ain't scared of him. What we got to do is, when we start seeing this stuff, you got to pray against it. Got to start asking God, send confusion to their camps, sabotage their equipment, sabotage their plans, all of that stuff. Give them blindness. Don't let them give these spirits blindness. Like, don't let them come through the portals. Have the angels at the portals, because they are going to launch this war. They got an act that they just put in place called Anti-Christian Act or whatever. They just made this stuff in the law. Like, they changing laws and times along with prophecy. Now, they saying anti-Christian, but what is their definition of Christian? Because they mix Catholicism and stuff into that, and that's an anti-Christ spirit. So what they're going to do is, those who speak real truth, real biblical principles, the Bible, and have power to back it up, those are the ones they're coming for, because those are the ones that know exactly who the beast is, and they're going to say no to their beast system. They already got it operating in 6 states. I know, like Florida, Texas, Austin, Texas, they got Oregon, they got 6 states picked out where they got this technology, and they can scan your eye, they're scanning things, for you to have easier access and blah, blah. They got Planeteer, that's a company that's going to be like launching this stuff that don't like Christians. That CEO literally said our biggest problem is going to be the Christians.
The one thing that, well, I'm just going to say that I've seen how laws are being made and created.
Yeah.
Just, and it's willy-nilly. It's, hey, this thing right now is coming up, and it's coming up as, hey, we looking for some people. We looking for the people that are going against what this devil is putting out, what the devil is putting out in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, we're talking about how you deal with a relationship with a narcissist, but at the same time, this is a relationship with them too. Because, guys, if you got one in your house, sitting with you, living with you,
Listen, your bill gonna be interrupted.
We're now in that time. We're no longer waiting on that time. We are now there. You got somebody really that's going to help, that's there to destroy you. And I'm just saying that as just people that want to see each other get through this time, because ladies and gentlemen, by far we done been warned it's gonna be rough getting through, but we gonna get through. So that's the good news. We gonna get through. It's gonna be rough though, but we get through. In the end, we win.
And you gotta have love. When you're dealing with these narcissists, they pull you on a different frequency. Yes, our spirit is, our soul is sound, it's the emotion and energy, but our spirit, man, what has influenced our spirit? Is it the kingdom of God or the kingdom of Satan? Because the kingdom of darkness influences the narcissist spirit. Like, it influences their soul. All they project out is complaints. They get you addicted to complaining, calling people, hey man, this narc did this. Man, guess what? This happened. Da, 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 da. You get so addicted to that once it's gone, that phantom dark energy, you just like, well, now what? Now I'm crying and nobody want to listen. Hey man, I'm hurting and da. No, like, you gotta come completely out of that whole kingdom field. Because that was all dark energy, dark matter. Because that's all they can do is talk darkness. They can get your emotions, get you crying. You crying for no reason. You crying because they left and went to the store because they going to go sleep with somebody. It's like all of this little stuff that they do. It keep you on a demonic field in a plane, and you can't fight against the stuff that's coming, because that stuff that they putting out there for all this like mind control and everything else they doing, because they doing that stuff. They know. They even got into where they did a documentary. They know how to make somebody like a certain person, regardless of the gender. Like, this is what they do. And that all operates on a negative electron field. They can't do that to somebody that is operating in communication with God, or who God got his hand on. They can't penetrate that. That's why they want everybody sad, everybody depressed. Keep trying to give people these techniques, tools that's still get them sad, but not get them healed and whole and on a joy vibration. Joy and happiness is two different things. People can be happy, they can go to a vacation, they real happy, but they have no joy. When you have joy, the joy makes other people around you happy. But that's a love frequency. They want people to keep looking at this race battle they putting out there. Everybody, if you human, man, that's it. It don't matter your skin color, because you human. We about to be fighting stuff that's
not jumping just past that. So, yeah, that's another illusion there about the race baiting. So, it's a young guy that's in Africa that's basically kind of taken over there. And he got China and Russia backing him with a military. So everybody, we being taught this mess about racism and the races, this and that. Man, one thing I learned about being right here in this country is that, man, we get lied to worse than anybody anywhere else in the world. It ain't what you think it is. Not what you think it is. And when you get out here and see it, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind how the rest of the world gets along. It's just going to blow you.
And you have to have hate in order to have racism. Hate comes from Satan, from the kingdom of darkness. You can't be racist without hate. You can't love and hate out of the same heart. You can be loyal, like you might be loyal to a family, whatever. But if you hate somebody or hate a different race, the love of God is not in you. If the love of God is not in you, anything else comes from Satan's kingdom. He has no love. He's the opposite of love. You might have obsession. You might have a drive or whatever. You might have lust, but it's not going to be divine love. And you have to, in this hour, when that stuff is being bombarded through the media and through the social media platforms that are ran by Satan and his people, is to get you in a mood, to get your field down. If your field down and a narc come, you are not going to be prepared to be able to ricochet their words. You're going to listen to what they got to say. You got to make sure your field is so up. Get in connection with some people that's talking like you, that's talking on with God, singing, dancing, watch some comedy. You can't be on a vibration, because then what you'll find out is when you've been away from them long enough, no contact, they come around, you're gonna have a whole field war. They magnetic field of negativity, it's gonna physically do something to you. You're gonna see that you can't even be around these people.
Yeah.
And you have to get to that point.
That is sure enough coming. Goodness gracious. Yeah, we gonna get deeper into that one next week too, man. Because we do a disservice to people to just sit here and pretend that the real world ain't real out here. Like this craziness that you seeing every single day, the news that you seeing, all the stuff that's going on. It ain't just happening, just kind of sort of by accident. No. This is real what we're dealing with every single day. And you got to get up and go navigate through this world, and you bunch of zombies out here acting crazy. And you like, where the normal people at? Kiss W. Sorry we took so long, but we had to get there. Thanks for that super chat. Kiss said, my roommate is from Brazil, co-worker from Madagascar, and brother fiance. Oh, okay. My brother's fiance is from Ethiopia, and all have been with narcs. And when I spoke about my problems, they knew I was dealing with a narc because of the patterns. Yeah. Yes, indeed. You get it, guys. When you're around somebody with this, you around somebody who. Come on, you around any of us, and it's gonna be crystal clear. Like, whoa, you dealing with a narc? Yeah, we know what that is. And guys, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, that's a part of this devil's plan. But for them to say, man, y'all just calling people narcs just to be calling it. Y'all don't know what a narc is. Yes, we do. Yes, we do know what one is.
I'm 100% certified to diagnose a narc, okay? Not just with the license, but with the whole certificate, post certifications, ingest personalities.
And I'm bona fide. I'm bona fide. I got how many years experience?
On the job training.
Go ahead. I got on the job training. I'm bona fide. Look, and that's what it is. So yeah, don't get yourself caught up. If they know the patterns, because the patterns don't change. The pattern is still the same. It's doing the same thing. My main man, Lawless, what's up, champ? Appreciate that super chat. Said, when I was a child, I thought people had a reason to do bad things and turn evil. After narc abuse, I've learned I was wrong. It's a choice. It's a decision. Yes, narcs have decided they gonna do wrong and be wrong. Jazzy, thanks for the super chat, Jazzy. Jazzy said, thank you. thank you all for
You're
what
welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for
you
helping out too.
saying. That's, man, we appreciate what y'all talking about in here, because, man, you got to get out here and walk around amongst the zombies out here. Amongst the zombies. I'm sorry tonight, China. We ain't even get a chance to get to that video, because, you know, we get in here and we get on the subject and be like, man, I was just saying if we ran short tonight, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody reached out and said that that my ex-narc diagnosed him with narcissism, right? Because he counselor, whatever, diagnosed him with narcissism, and made it to the point that he's like this expert witness in a case to get his wife to divorce him, divorce the person that reached out to me. This is how crazy and demonized these fools are. This dude got a prison GED. How you diagnosing anybody but can plagiarize a whole degree, but as long as they don't put degree behind it and like the letters of what the degree is, it's technically not a crime, because they could have took one credit or they could have like listened to it, but they technically didn't say they had an actual degree with the license. Like, this is how cold this stuff is. And literally got this ziggity boo, like, am I a narcissist because they diagnosed me? They don't. And then you try to not go there and call names, but
listen, that joker knew. He already knew and probably heard you say it before.
I told you he stole my identity. Okay,
it's right there, and bam, he like, what? Oh, I'm a doctor too.
He got the wife convinced, because she young. He got the wife convinced that this person is a narcissist, and it got the character, all the stuff that got her to get a restraining order based on his so-called qualifications. I was like, man, this dude commits so much fraud. But they don't care about the law. So much fraud. I mean, you can't even report. You know, it's like you're supposed to report them or whatever when they fraudulently do things. You can't even report them to a board because he has no license or no board that knows him. Like, you can't even, can't even do that.
And,
like, you can't.
And there you have it.
Right.
He is running a practice right up under the auspices of everything he learned while he was hanging right there.
They don't even have a location. They just go into different churches, like claiming it as their own. I'm like, you can't. None of this makes sense.
You got to beep him when you call in that doctor. You got to beep him. Okay,
we'll come to your house.
You got to use the beeper. He got an old school beeper.
Yes. I'm telling you, these places are a cult, and you have to be careful because the person can seem real. When you're dealing with somebody that's really delulu and they really believe they're delulu, they can come off as confident. But you gotta do your fact check, do the background checks, do something.
He doesn't believe he's delulu.
When you see a bunch of mug shots, believe that if it's on the internet. Like,
it happens. Well, look here. On our way out this evening, you know, first I want to say thank you because, of course, you know, you guys are excellent every Friday night as usual.
Thank you.
Y'all to take us out of here and let the people know, give the people something to give the people some type of something to look forward to, because we're in a dark time right now. We're in a dark time right now. And man, lots of people are affected and people are looking for, like, who got the answer? Who got the answer to what's here? See, it's always been coming before. And that was here. Now it's here. So give them something to get them through. Help them through. What you got?
Yeah, we are in a dark time. We are in the dark time, but we are the light. And we got to remember who our Father is. I mean, like God Himself. So whenever you are under God's protection, there has been many dark times repeatedly over in the Bible. But He told us when the times get like this, we supposed to rejoice because our redemption is near. And He said we don't even have to worry about these things because our Father will keep us. Like He clothed the birds and everything. We don't have to worry about what we gonna eat, what we gonna wear. If He made a tree pop up when what's the one, Jonah was trying to run from Nineveh, and then He, finally talked to him, the tree popped up, and then He made the tree go away. That's how God do. So it don't matter what's going on with the agriculture. If He wants you to have some oranges, a tree can pop up in a day and you'll eat some oranges. If He made the Hebrew children when they was going, in the wilderness, they was in the desert. He made the rock have water. Okay, that's how He do. And it was just a stream of water. He rained down food from heaven. That's how He do. So even if they going through their famine and stuff, this judgment that's happening, this wrath, that's for the world. That's for the narcs. That's for their daddies. That's for all of their little invisible creatures, aunts and uncles that's all hanging on them. That's for them. But what we having going on with the children of God, He gonna make sure we cool as long as we trust Him. We got to have a trust relationship with God. We got to understand who we are and that we are His children and that He loves us so much. He's not like these fathers out here that's in this world. Definitely not like the narc daddy that's like they daddy the devil. But He is actually a good Father who loves us and wants the best for us. Your life can only go up. So even though the times are dark, once you get rid of death and a waster, and all of their little friends and all of the stuff that come with that, you have life. You'll see how much your health bounce back. You'll see how much your finances will bounce back the more you stay away. Because at first it's going to be a catastrophe because they're going to send a bunch after you. They try to keep you in that depressed state. But if you overcome and you keep on going and you keep getting more and more of that narc up out of you, get all the little remnants, the parasites, the seeds, do your cleanses, your detox, whatever you got to do, not answer the phone and all that stuff. The more that you keep going forward, the more that God will back you. And then you will start to be back on top with the whole kingdom of God right there helping you, lifting you up. You got to stay away from the kingdom of darkness. As we go into this Mother's Day, understand that Mother's Day is still pagan. Everything they do is pagan. They got their little queen demonic mother. That's the one that infested the narc mother. You got the wicked witch of the west and the east, whichever one. Y'all could have met the good mother of the narc, or y'all could have met the one that's just straight grimy and wicked. But the narcs have mothers that is tethered to them. And so you don't want to go calling the mother, like the ex-mother-in-law, or the mother of the grandmother of the children, or sending the children over there to the pit and be like, hey, da da da. These mothers know exactly how wicked they are, and they know how wicked they children are, whether they the sons or the daughters. They train them, and they are not in your best interest. They the ones that got the narc on a leash. Okay, so they even more wicked and scheming, and they are out for your demise because none of them ever like whoever the narc is dealing with. They do the same thing the narc do, like a mosquito, try to cipher out their goods, cipher out their energy, cipher out their life force and their money and their finances, have them running errands and doing stuff. They'll complain about the child. Oh, no, you shouldn't be with them. Hey, can you take me to the store, hon? Can you pick up this, hon? I always like you. All of that fake stuff. Don't do any of that. Don't wish them none. And if your mama a narc, don't do the holiday. Don't do all that stuff. Don't put yourself in that situation because you have to really stay on high alert. Okay, I'm cool on mama, grandma, all of them because they keep narking. They keep doing Jezebelic narc things. And so you got to just get to the point like these people make decisions not to change. For the guys that got these baby mamas out here, don't be wishing them a happy Mother's Day because they not good mothers. If they narcissists, they horrible mothers. Just let them be. Don't send, if the kids don't want to make them a card, don't make them. Because that the kids know. They throwing away their favorite toys. They doing all kind of crazy stuff. They witches. Happy Witch Day. That's what you need to tell them. But for everybody else, I hope you really enjoy your day tomorrow and every other or Sunday and every other day. Just really enjoy yourself because you deserve it. Just not those narcs. Stay away from them. Stay away.
Do.
Well, I'm going to say this. These people came into our lives and pulled off the biggest heist. These people robbed us of our most precious commodity, and that was our time. And not only did we waste our time with them, but we now have to use this time to heal and to make better decisions and vet our relationships when we should be secure in one because we thought we had a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage. But these people came into our lives and really messed up the definition of marriage and the definition of a relationship. And we don't know what's what anymore. And all this that's going on out there, it's hard to even try to determine. And nobody wants to waste the time trying to figure it out. I know I don't, because I've spent enough time trying to find somebody that was perfect for me when I need to just be perfect for myself. And I chose to love myself more than I want a relationship, more than I want another marriage. I had 12 years of my life stolen thinking that I was married to somebody who married me while they was married to somebody else. And I was fighting for something that didn't exist. And that's what they want us to do, always fight for something that don't exist. He knew that marriage didn't exist. He just didn't ever think that it would be found out. And so it got found out in the end. But God said he will restore the years. So just know that we may have lost that time. That time may have been stolen, but God can give us all that time back in a day. All you have to do is just have faith and just turn to him. I'm going to keep drilling this in. God is the answer. That's the only answer with the way the world is today, because you can't, man will fail you. You can't rely on nobody nowadays. Nobody is reliable. We have more and more selfish people out there. Have everybody, people that see your light and want to dim your light, because I feel like that's what this lady saw in me and what she wanted to do to me. And so I'm not going to have communications with that lady. Anybody mention your light, that's letting you know that the devil see your light, because nobody is going to come straight out and say you must be the chosen one. She just kept focusing on my youth. And so now I know she's jealous of it and she wants to steal it because she's younger than me. She's in her 40s, but you could tell she been through a struggle, a whole struggle. And she just took a chance and relocated here from Nebraska. That tells you that's a narcissist. That's what they do.
Portal.
They just relocate. So be very weary of people like this. They may have wasted our time, but y'all don't know God has already restored that time. And sometimes we're not the ones that's meant to be taught the lesson. We are put in their lives to be a lesson, but they don't get it. They don't learn because they're so stuck in their ways and their decisions that they want to make, because it's too much like right to do right. And they don't want to do right. They've been doing wrong for so long. They figure, why change? I like it, especially when they don't get caught and the court systems justify what they're doing and protect them, because it seems like they now protect the abusers more than they do the victims. It's like, it's hard for them to believe us because of the stuff that these people do to us. Nobody want to believe it. They'll think you crazy or you're exaggerate. And that's the state that people that they want you to be in. And that's why it's hard for us to tell our stories. And I thank God for platforms like this and TikTok, where people can go tell their stories to people who is familiar with this situation, where you guys can go for therapy. Because if you tell an average person on the street what you've been through, they probably will walk you straight into an insane asylum, because they figure that's where you belong. But if y'all still in these situations, man, get out. Because, man, it don't take long for that brain fog. I'm telling you. It doesn't take long for that memory loss, because these people in the door try to distort your reality. They try to gaslight you, because in the end, They want you to believe that you ain't ish, and
Mm.
that when they walk away, they are everything. They try to walk away like they on top when they really not. They are in fear. They're in fear of losing you, but they can't let you see that. These people are human. These people bleed the same blood. They have the same fears that we have. They just hide it better. And if you guys, if they discard you or you walk away and you have to cry, don't let them see it. Just let them walk away, but don't let them see that pain, because they get a kick out of that. Let them walk away wondering, did they destroy you like they planned on doing? And that's what's going to kill them in the end, is the not knowing.
That's serious. That's serious, man.
Well,
And that we seriously- that's something that we seriously do. We'll sit there and, you know, go along with it. And, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, hold up. Before we get out, my bad. I'm glad you said that, Monique. Good gracious. Woo. Thanks for the super chat. She said, I missed y'all tonight. Peace, love, and happiness. Hurry, yo, China. Keisha, and everyone in the chat. Everybody stay encouraged. God got us. Did you hear me? We heard you. Sam, thanks for the super chat, Rosie. Rosie said the narcissist sent my brother one of his flying monkeys to knock on my door today. Just watched him through my camera. Didn't even answer. See? Y'all see what I'm saying? The people in this chat get it.
Yes.
People understand. See, we be having a million questions we want to ask. Why they do that? Why they come over here? Why they knocking on my door? What they want to ask me? What do you want to know? He still like me? So what? The answer to all your questions is so what? So what? You want to talk to me? So what? You still like me? So what? You still need me? So what? Those are the answers. The answer to all of the problems that you're dealing with the narc is so what? We need to talk about the baby. So what? We need to work this out. So what? Joe, the answer, y'all better learn the answer. The faster you learn the answer, the faster you free. The answer to all the questions is, so what? So what? Yeah, this urgent. This urgent though. So what? Okay? Don't answer those people.
Yeah.
Respond to that mess. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in that time we've been told about for so long. We are in that time. And the good news is that we win. Yeah, it's going to be crazy times coming. It's going to be worse. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's going to be all of these things. So what? God said we win. God said we winning. So what? Yeah, I'm gonna be hungry sometimes. I'm gonna have to go be dealing with some hunger pains. Blah, blah. I need to be dealing with some hunger pains sometimes. I'm trying to lose some weight here. You know what I'm saying? It's a hassle over here. I'm saying at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, you got to challenge yourself. This thing is serious. This thing is serious, man. This thing coming down the pike is serious. I remember when the last one hit, everybody was talking about it. I was like, what y'all talking about, man? I ain't even, I'm in La La Land somewhere. I saw it didn't really affect me when it hit. This time right here, it's affecting everybody. You're going to feel it on this one. Even if you just feel it just a little bit, you're going to feel it on this one because it's out there. And it don't matter. It doesn't matter because, man, we got somebody backing us that controls everything that we need. Everything that we need. Yeah, we got to be dragged through this fire or whatever you want to call it. that this devil putting out here for everybody, the sabotage, you know, the lies, the deception. Yeah, we got to get through all of that. But that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And that's why we're here vibrating on a different frequency. See, I talk about this all the time. I be like, man, you know, I notice how they be doing my channel, man. And they be taking numbers and stealing them and putting numbers over here. And people don't get they don't get called out. And they start taking followers away from me. Because y'all vibrating different. You vibrating on a higher frequency. You surrounded by filth every day of your life. You're surrounded by tragedy, by drama, by craziness every single day. That's the vibration that this devil wants you on. And you come in here and you got the nerve to be encouraged. You got the nerve to think and believe that this devil can't do nothing to you. And he can't. You actually growing some confidence in self. You are confident in you after you just made it, after you just got finished dealing with this devil. You're vibrating on a different frequency, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying this because I don't control this internet. I'm just thankful for the days that we have together, because we will continue to vibrate on that same frequency. So no matter what they do, no matter how it happens, we all still gonna vibrate on the same frequency. Yeah, we running around here like we won, because we win.
Yes.
We win. And I don't care what happens. Which I might have smashed you. No matter what happens. No matter what happens, y'all. We win. At the end of it, we win. That's exactly how this goes. And that's exactly what this devil don't want you to know. The devil don't want you to know that you win. This devil wants you to think that ain't no way you can win. There's no way that you can win. That's what this devil really wants you to believe. It's no way you can win. It's going to get so dark and gloomy. And you know that you win. Woo, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Yes, I know it's pagans, but we talk about the mothers. Mothers get some love. It's Sunday, you know. You ain't gonna be nothing open, you know, because everything already locked down. Because it's Mother's Day. So, you know, I imagine if you in this chat, you a good mother. You're a good mother to your child, so you deserve to have a happy Mother's Day. So happy. All of you ladies, I better remember that on Father's Day for the fellas. Yeah, I see what it is. So we're going to leave y'all the same way we came up in here. Nothing but love, peace, and soul. What was you going to say, Keisha?
I was going to tell Macy she wanted to know how to book, and I was just going to tell her, like, if she goes to the description in your channel, then that's how she get the information to book.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, because that's what I'm going to do. All right?
We're going to be like China and bounce.
China just rolled out. China probably got a date tonight. I bet y'all she got a date tonight.
See y'all later. Have a good weekend. Bye.